If you've been scrolling through endless listings trying to figure out whether a 23 cubic foot upright cooler is really the right fit for your kitchen, bar, or small office, you're not alone. I get a lot of messages from people who worry they'll spend a tidy sum on a unit that either takes up too much space, looks out of place, or simply doesn't keep their drinks as cold as they need it to be. The goal today is to walk through the practical side of the VEVOR commercial merchandiser refrigerator with its 2 glass doors, LED lighting, and gold tone finish, so you can decide if it truly matches your everyday needs before you click that add to cart button. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the space you'll be putting this thing in. At 79 inches tall and roughly 39 inches wide, the unit is close to the height of a standard kitchen cabinet but considerably deeper. If you have a dedicated pantry or a commercial back-of-house area, the dimensions blend nicely with surrounding equipment. In a cramped residential kitchen where the refrigerator already claims most of the wall, you'll need to measure twice and plan for a clearance of at least an inch on each side for door swing and ventilation. The glass doors are a nice visual touch. People can see the contents at a glance, but they also mean you have to be mindful of sunlight. In a sun-flooded dining room, the glass can cause the interior temperature to rise a few degrees on a hot afternoon, meaning the compressor works a bit harder. For most indoor settings with modest lighting, that's not a deal breaker, just a factor to consider. What really sets this merchandiser apart from a typical home fridge is the amount of organized storage it offers. With 23 cubic feet, you can line up multiple rows of soda cans, wine bottles, and even larger containers like juice jugs without squishing anything. The interior is essentially a flat shelf system, so you can push a full case of 24 packs onto the bottom and still have room for a mix of taller bottles on the next level. For a small bar owner or a catering business that needs quick access to a variety of beverages, the ability to see everything at once thanks to the transparent glazed doors helps speed up service. I've seen a coffee shop owner arrange their cold brew bottles and flavored syrups in the same unit, grabbing what they need in seconds without fiddling with drawers. On the downside, the advanced features and design claim comes with a caveat. The unit does rely on a single compressor and basic temperature control. It will keep a steady 38-40 range for most drinks, but if you load it with a large volume of warm items at once, say you just brought a whole case of room temperature soda from the warehouse, the internal temperature can climb noticeably before the compressor kicks back in. That lag isn't a problem for everyday home use, but for a high-traffic venue that expects cold drinks instantly, you might need to pre-chill your stock or accept a short warm-up window. The LED lighting is bright and evenly distributed, which is a plus for visual merchandising, yet that same brightness can be harsh if you're trying to create a low-key ambience in a lounge. Some users have covered the LEDs with a thin fabric diffuser to soften the glow. It's a simple tweak, but something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the practical strengths you'll actually notice day to day. The biggest win for most buyers is the ability to store a lot of drinks without the need for additional shelving. If you've ever found yourself juggling a small under-counter fridge and a separate wine cooler, the VEVOR unit consolidates those functions into one sleek piece. The glass doors also mean you can keep an eye on stock levels without opening the unit, which saves energy and reduces the audible hum that a constantly opening door creates. In a retail setting where customers can browse the cooler's contents, the gold tone frame adds a hint of upscale styling that can complement a modern storefront. On the practical weaknesses side, the unit is fairly heavy, over 250 pounds when empty. Moving it into position usually requires at least 2 people and a dolly, so if you're a solo homeowner planning a surprise kitchen upgrade, you'll need help. The foot of the unit is a solid metal grate, which is great for stability but can be noisy if placed directly on a wooden floor. A simple rubber mat underneath solves the vibration issue, but it's an extra step that you won't find in the product description. Finally, the glass doors, while attractive, are prone to fingerprints and smudges. In a high-traffic environment, you'll need to wipe them down regularly to keep the display looking pristine. That's just the reality of a clear front panel. Who should definitely consider this merchandiser? If you run a small bar, CAF, or office breakroom and need to keep a variety of beverages chilled and easily visible, the storage capacity in glass